Does anyone else want to jump in here at all?
Hi, Sue. I'm really happy to share the experience of so far. Just to introduce myself, my name is Emma McDevitt. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Emma.
Can you hear me, Becky?
Yes, I can. Hi, Emma.
Okay.
Glad you could make it.
Hiya. First of all, I just wanted to really second everything Kim said, because said it really beautifully, and that's been my experience as well. One thing I thought it might be worth sharing, just because I've kind of had experience of doing it both ways, of doing it quite a structured way and kind of being a bit more worked with people with ME, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue and so on. And so I've spoken quite a lot to the stress aspect of those illnesses. And when I first started working with these kind of things, I was actually coming from an NLP and hypnosis background. And so the first time I did these programs, I went in with a lot of techniques in my head. Like, as if I had everything struck for me. And the program worked, but at the same time, I think that I reduced my opportunity for more, for my own wisdom to come out at certain times, and for the impact that would come from that. And from the impact that could come from being really present and just seeing what came up in the moment. And then quite a way into that, I discovered the 3 principles, and I had this really tricky in-between time where I was like, completely blowing my mind, but do I trust myself that it will make the impact that the technique that I've been relying on will make, and all that kind of thing. So I had a bit of a wobbly period. And now, what I tend to find is absolutely everything that you already said, Kim. And that whole thing about kind of trusting yourself, and it's not about me, it's about they need. And with a few things, like Kim said, kind of up your sleeve to use when maybe you need an icebreaker or you want to introduce some humour into it and stuff like that. So just kind of one example of stuff that I've done quite often is, it's right at the start of one of these events, I get people to sit down in pairs, and for one to say, if this could be absolutely everything, if this beyond a miracle, the most mind-blowing you got from it was beyond what would be different for you at the end of it. And I get them to give each other 5 minutes, and one person asks that question, and then their job is just to listen as deeply as possible, with no judgment, no trying to fix, just listen deeply, and maybe just say, tell me a bit more if the other person runs out of words. And I find something like that helps really well, because the person talking often finds that they kind of get quite a way towards some of their answers anyway, and they tend to be in a much quieter place to then talk about it afterwards. But I also find the person asking the questions tends to get quite a huge experience in terms of seeing something from another person's point of view, so it tends to quieten their mind down, and they get an experience of really kind of connecting and understanding another person's perspective, which then tends to be useful further down the line when you're talking about stress, and if people tend to have the habit of blaming another person for their stress. In fact, just listening to somebody, it can kind of help them see that everybody's coming from what makes sense to them at the time. And often things like that, I'll just ask people about their experiences of doing it, and that'll spark discussion. And then again, like Kim said, I'll share all the times when I've got caught up in it, and all the times I've got stuck, and the insights I've had and stuff. And just that thing Kim said about it completely levels the playing field when if you can feel like you're a fellow explorer, you're not trying to give them something, so you don't imagine you don't kind of imagine resistance into being, because you're still learning just like they are. Does that help at all?
I'll just unmute her, sorry, because of the background noise.
Oh, I see, okay.
Thanks now.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, so I muted myself as well. I think I was causing a bit of interference there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a little bit of interference. I missed some of what you said, but
Okay.
no, I think I got the essence. And yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. You're very welcome. I think this sort of the thing the thing I most want to come through is just that we all do it, don't we? And kind of when something big comes up, we forget that we already know to trust ourselves and trust in other people and stuff. And when you're actually there in the group, kind of trusting in them and what comes to you in the moment, then I think that's kind of the best place to be, and the best way to approach it.
Yeah, I'm really hearing that from both you and Kim, actually. It's yeah, I think you're right, and Kim raised a really important point about kind of not being the person who's got all the answers, and I think that's a really important place to start from. Just, you know, the level playing field, I think she said, and it's so true. It's so true, and I think that's kind of the way to. It's the connection, that, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the things that I was kind of like saying to them is that, hey, when I'm stressed, don't listen to me. Sorry, if I'm stressed, don't listen. I ain't going to be speaking much sense, And kind of like, even the times when you're kind of like, you're really creating in your head and your thoughts get really faster and faster, and then you really realise that you're feeling like crap, and then you catch yourself. And in that moment, you're just like, whoa. And I liken it to, what I did is I got pictures of some clowns, and I kind of put them up on a slide, and I was just like, these are what I call the chaos clowns, right? We're in that stressful place. They get in the car, and the car is like your vehicle, yeah? So that's your body, yeah? Well, when the chaos clowns get in and they start driving the car, right, you don't even notice the first one got in the car, right? But then all of a sudden there's more and more, and then before you know it, the whole car is full up with these chaos clowns, all screaming. They start going down the M25, which over here is a really, really bad road, right? But they're going down there, rush hour, going, look, no hands. Do you know what I mean? And it only takes us to see that feeling, that rubbish feeling's there, because those clown thoughts are driving the vehicle. So you're going to crash, But as soon as we see that or notice it, and it's like, oh, wow. And then everything feels different again. But it's almost like the laughter and humour that comes from, following those thoughts and how unreasonable we can all become when we're in that place, And also that they see the humour in it. As in, I likened it to things like, when you've had words with somebody, maybe someone close to you in your personal surroundings, and they've gone out the door to go to work, and they've had a really good day, but all day long you spoke to your girlfriends, you spoke to people about this situation, and when they come back, you're ready, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that, and you're ready for them. They're coming feeling really happy and they're all okay, and you're kind of like, "Row!" They really laugh because it's just like we've all done that, you know. And when you kind of see oh, actually, yeah, they were in life for the day and I wasn't, you know, it's almost like, okay, and it's, you know, it's just we all do it, and I think normalising how we do it really takes away the you've got to go and do something. There's something else you need to understand. You know, it takes all that away and just brings that back to that. You know, who we really naturally are. Yeah, it's like it is an adventure, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, I love it. I do. I love seeing that wow moment where they're just like, yeah, and then laughing at how we're all doing it.
It's so true, isn't it? Laughing is such a big part of sort of that you're not seeing.
Yeah. I can't hear you. Broken up.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Seeing it, yeah, seeing the absurdity. I love it.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, that's so helpful, guys.
So much time laughing on that course. I can't tell you the amount we laughed, because I think my not taking it all so seriously as well was just like, you know, I mean, even at one point where I think when there was a couple of things that didn't go according to plan, as in, you know, somebody turned up in the middle of it, and you know, and even with that, it was kind of like at one point the lady I was working with, she was kind of like, you're going to stress. Then I used that to show them, look, I still can do it. We all still do it, but it's in that moment we see ourselves in a different light doing it, you know. And then it's like, oh, that's so funny that he's saying the little boy. Is that your little boy?
I know he's doing. Yeah, he's putting his full penny.
He's like, I agree. Yeah, that's it.
What do you want to say?
Hello, Baba.
Tony, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Wanted to say hi or just anything?
Yeah. I'll say hi. I've been listening with interest to everybody, and I've had a lot of thinking while you've been talking. So I want to start a carers group. I care for my mum. She's got Alzheimer's, and I've been thinking about starting this group for a long time. And I did try to start one, and no one turned up. But we won't go into the reasons why we didn't turn up. So yes, you know, everything everyone's been saying, it does resonate with me, and it's just that deeper feeling of not having a set agenda, and as soon as I think I need one, I get a bad feeling.
Yeah.
So I get more in touch with the real me of how I need to look at things, and it's okay when I get caught in my head, like you were saying. We all do it. We all think, oh right, this is a great idea, I must say that when they come along, or I must do this. And it's okay, like you were saying, you can write things down. So you know, you can write down one or two ideas. Oh, maybe that might be appropriate to bring up during the meeting or the meetup or whatever. So for me, yeah, it's more and more just seeing that it's just, you know, it's getting in touch with everybody from that space that we all know we can. You know, we connect with a person or the people in the room, just get a nice feeling. So, you know, my idea was they can even come and help me make a cup of tea in the kitchen before we go in. It's not about me. It's not ever about me. You know, I may be organising it, and I may be saying some things because I've organised it. So probably people expect me to say something, and I will. But as soon as I think I know more than anyone else, I'm lost. It's completely, that's it. I don't know anything more than anyone else. I wish I did. And I probably do some factual stuff, but not about the mind, not about life, not about the way we all connect to each other. So I think I'm ready. Before, I don't think I was ready to start a group. Now I think I am. So I just see, just 4 or 5 people come around here, and just, obviously I need to give them an outline of what it's about, less stress, I would say, because caring can be very stressful. And then just see where it goes. We might not talk about stress again. Just see how people feel, and just sort of just go along and see what happens, really. And that's the beauty of this understanding. I know if you're doing a workshop, that's a slightly different thing, because you're organising it, and if you've got people who are really suffering in a different way, then it could be a slightly different way of teaching the principles or expressing ourselves. And you've got so many weeks, and you feel you need to. You probably feel more of that you feel you need to do something more because you're being employed by someone else. This group, for me, maybe I've got a bit more scope in my thinking, that I can just, I'm organising it, it's free, it's at my house. Maybe that will be a slightly different dynamic. I don't know, maybe I'm making it up. But yeah, so it's all about how we see it in the actual moment. I can have great ideas, but it's just my ideas. And as soon as I open my mouth, I can look at someone and I know I shouldn't have opened it. It's that simple, and I still do it now. Like if I meet someone and I'm crazy, I go in coffee shops and I'm in the queue, and sometimes I say to them, "Oh, can I ask you a question?" And they say, "Oh, okay. Where do you think your feelings come from?" Oh, my friends. I say, "Well, can I tell you something?" I actually don't. But then I connect with them, and then I go too far. Then I say something more that I don't need to. And I get a horrible feeling, because I know I'm not coming from wisdom, I'm coming from my ego. It literally makes sense what I'm saying, but I've just gone a bit too far. So at least I know that now. It doesn't stop me doing it, but I get the horrible feeling that I've overstepped the what I'm. I don't need to say much, actually, sometimes. So it's all about connection, isn't it? And just saying, knowing when to maybe stop talking sometimes, and just allow a bit of silence in the room, because we're not used to silence, are we? Well, I wasn't used to silence. I used to think I had to talk all the time, otherwise there was something wrong with me, But, it's just a matter of being in the room with the people, just seeing how it goes, really, which is fantastic, isn't it? It's like, wow, I don't have to do anything. Sometimes just be quiet, or just don't think from the personal mind. So I'll let you know how it goes once it gets started. So
random questions are actually where I've learned the most in my entire life, of just asking people questions. Everything is a conversation. If we have a conversation with somebody and we connect with them, it's okay to ask questions. It's where we find many different answers about many things. And you're right. It is, if we're feeling our thinking in that moment, that's going to be changing as we sort of move through that, isn't it? So I kind of like salute random questions myself, because I've had great conversations because of it.
Yeah.
Is that your tummy? You've got tummy ache? Oh, sorry. I'm not muted. I'm talking.
It's okay.
Thank you for that, Tony. That was I'm really glad it's been helpful to you as well.
Oh yes, yeah. You know, because I just
Yeah,
get caught.
definitely.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say it's definitely kind of helped kind of take the focus away from me, which is kind of it sounds obvious, but you know, when you sort of put pressure on yourself and you're stepping outside your comfort zone, you do sort of create this nonsense pressure and think I've got to do this, I have to deliver, you know, and actually this whole conversation has brought it back to what it's really about, which has been really, really good for me. Really good.
Well, it's funny, it's kind of like a microcosm in a way. There's 6 of us. I've met, but you know, the conversation just seems to be quite spontaneous, and it's a conversation. And it's only when we think, right, if I'm going on that call, what am I going to say? Oh, well, and then it gets tight, and then you feel the tightness, and you go, oh yeah, okay. I'm just having a conversation like Tony might just go and get a coffee, and I stand in the queue, and someone says, it's a bit expensive in here, and you have this funny conversation with somebody about nothing and everything, but you don't think, am I getting this conversation right? As you know, if you're feeling really in the flow, it just flows. So that's the brilliant thing that we've got, is the feelings. It's like not to run away from them. Say, oh, there's that feeling. It's like, great, there's that feeling. Never going to let me down. It's always going to guide me. So it's that business of what are we actually talking about? We're talking about a conversation. That's all anything really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we stop thinking about it with the big agenda conversation, then it just calms it all down. And we're all capable of having a conversation.
Yeah.
Which is hard because we've been doing it. And listen, we've got a little chap with us this afternoon. He's doing it, isn't he? In his own way.
Exactly. Like, we're on this call, right? And he's been making me laugh all the way through it because I'm kind of like, here we are, right? You're talking about, you know, of being in a certain environment and being a certain way, and then there's this little chat in the background just doing little noises, and it's really making me laugh, you know. And I'm kind of like, you sitting there, Becky, with him on your hip, do you know what I mean? And being really, and not worrying, just being like, yeah, and we're all like really cool, the baby's in the conversation. He's showing up where he needs to, isn't he? And I'm kind of like, you know, if you can have a conversation like this, you know, and then like before sometimes the dogs come in and they take over the show. And I'm like, I love the sound effects in the background. He's really made me chuckle.
Isn't that a world away from? Get my child to behave. Isn't it lovely not to live in that world? Actually, some of the best contributions come from the world. So, how are you doing? Is that, so anything else you want to raise or talk about, or maybe jokes?
No, I don't think so. I think this whole thing's been really, really, really helpful for me. It's been brilliant. Yeah, it just kind of, I don't take it too seriously. I think that's amazing advice.
So simple.
Just keep reminding each other, can't we?
Yeah. Becky, I just... Oh. Sorry.
Hello.
I just wanted to add, because I didn't get a chance to actually say, that I just think it's brilliant that you just leapt in and took this opportunity. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I remember... Sorry?
Oh, thank you. It's really funny the way it happened, actually. It kind of... I kind of knew it was going to happen. A long time ago when I started working with the group, and it was it's just sort of, I sort of knew it was going to happen, and then when I bumped into my contact the other day, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'll do that for you, of course I will. And you know, it just seemed like the most natural thing in the world. But then, of course, afterwards I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And then I posted in Facebook, and I was like, yeah, and then this conversation, and of course it's going to be fine, because yeah, it's just, you know, it's just turning up and, yeah, not taking it too seriously, which I never have
And
done before, but I think because, yeah.
Well, it's just feeling uncomfortable in the run up to doing these things is just part of the kind of weather on the journey, isn't it? I mean, I can remember Jamie Smart once saying to me, which I found really helpful, that it would be just lovely to have fearlessness at our disposal every time we do these things. But if in the absence of fearlessness, we'll just have to use courage. And then every time you do these things, it kind of gets converted into confidence. But you've just got to ride out feeling a little bit uncomfortable from your thinking now and again in the run up to doing it.
Absolutely. Definitely.
And so it was definitely your wisdom talking when you said, yeah, I can do it, because you kind of know you can, don't you?
I think so, yeah. And I know that there's, because having worked with the group before, I've kind of, I just thought it'd just be really nice to kind of talk to them rather than just kind of charge around the room doing crazy exercises. And I just thought it'd be really nice because it's kind of quite cool when you see how it works. And without wanting to be too evangelical, I thought it would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you everyone. It's very worthwhile for me.
I can't wait.
I'm really happy if anyone. Sorry, say that again.
It'd be lovely to hear what happens afterwards, and just like for you to come and share, you know, what happened.
Yeah, definitely. I will do. I will. I'm kind of going into this meeting on Wednesday now, feeling great. So yeah, it doesn't feel like, I'm just open, and and I'll definitely feed back and let you know what happens.
Brilliant.
Great.
Stay open. The book.
Oh, it's not Arlo, darling. It's another one.
We got another book on the line. Are you going to say bye-bye now, Jacob? Are you going to say bye-bye to everyone?
Bye-bye.
Oh, good boy.
Oh, so lovely.
Rather mystified.
Okay.
Okay, thanks ever so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Good luck with your talk, Jennifer.
Lovely to meet you. Bye-bye.
And you.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
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 Thanks a lot.